If you would like a delicious cookie recipe that your kids can prepare next to you while you make dinner or Thanksgiving, then stay tuned. I'm Chef Ashley, and I've been a culinary instructor for over a decade now, and this is one of the #1 recipes that I make with the kiddos. It's a simple and fun twist on traditional apple pie. So to make these tasty treats, we're going to start off by taking a can of apple pie filling and we're going to put it into a food processor and either turn it on low for just a little bit or we're going to pulse it a few times. You don't want to overblend it too much. You do want still just a few little chunks of apples in there, but we do need the apples smaller because they're not going to fit into the cookies otherwise. Sometimes I also use a chef's knife when I don't feel like cleaning out the food processor, so you can also use that if you don't have a food processor. Just make sure you cut them up into smaller pieces, like I said, so that they'll fit onto the cookies. All right, so we're going to pop that mix into a bowl so that we have that ready, and then we're going to have some cinnamon and sugar already mixed up, some unsalted butter. You'll need a bowl, a spoon, and a basting brush to brush on our butter. We're going to have some pie crust, something to cut with. These are some nice cookie cutters that I had, but you can also just use a mason jar lid. And then I like to have some parchment paper out to work on. And then don't forget your baking sheet. I also forgot to put out here a rolling pin and a fork. Go ahead and open up your pie crust and unroll it. Then you're going to get your rolling pin out and roll it out nice and flat. This isn't really that necessary with store-bought pie crust, but it's fun for the kiddos. Next, you'll want to cut out as many round circles as you can, but you do want to have an even number of these, so I like to have the kids pair them up as they do them. And just be sure to remind them to cut them close to each other, just like in the video. While our younger chefs might need a little bit more guidance, they can definitely complete this task as well. Next, you're going to go ahead and lay out the bottoms of all of those cookies, so just one of each of the doubles, and lay those out, and then you're going to put a dollop of the apple pie filling onto each of the cookies. I actually did put a little too much in this video, so do like a third less than what I did. Then go ahead and pop the tops on, and you can go ahead and crimp the edges. As you can see, I put too much filling to show you what happens when you put too much filling. It comes out the sides. So that's why you want to put about a third less than what I did. So you have just the right amount and you don't have that mess. If it does happen, just clean it up because it'll burn if you leave it. You're going to want to be sure that you put some kind of vent in the top of the cookie so you can poke an X or cut an X, whichever you'd like to do, just to make sure that the cookie is able to vent while it's baking. Next, we're going to go ahead and take some butter, a couple tablespoons, melt it, take some cinnamon and sugar mixed up, mix it together, and then we're just going to brush that on top with our basting brush, or you can use a pastry brush. Either works. The kids love this step. Then you're going to pop it into the preheated oven. Just preheat it to whatever the pie crust package says. And you're going to bake it for 10 to 14 minutes until it's golden brown on top. This is the absolute hardest part, but you have to wait 15 minutes before you bite into these goodies because they are so hot on the inside when they first come out. So caution! Caution, don't burn your mouth. Once the kids have mastered this recipe, you can have them challenge themselves by trying to make their own pie crust and or their own pie filling.